10 outrageous last season Game of Thrones theories. After 8 years, the last season of Game of Thrones, a saga that has captivated us with its incredible story full of dragons, sword fighting, and excessive ambitions, is arriving.
You have everywhere else to go.
But wait!
With the release of teaser and trailer, several speculations have surfaced about the epic race toward the end of the gigantic history of kings and queens. That's why we will show you a few possible theories based on the new trailer that has been released. Let the fight begin! Ice and fire meet. This theory focuses on the promotional poster of the series. Here, we witness how fire and ice come together, letting us know that the big battle is yet to come. It tells us about the confrontation of the White Walkers against Daenerys and Jon Snow, who represent the fire. Although there are many theories about how this war will end, we don't really know what the writers and George R.R. Martin are preparing for the end. We can say that fire can melt the ice, but also remembering that ice is capable of extinguishing the fire. A battle that is coming close and that we'll know nothing of until April comes, a month in which it'll be known for sure who will be the winner and who will finally occupy the Iron Throne. Winter is here. Since the first season, we've heard Ned Stark say winter is coming several times.
Winter is coming.
Since this is the Stark House motto. But beyond that, it means that winter usually brings deadly creatures that may be able to invade the Seven Kingdoms and conquer them. These beings have become the focus of the 7th season, giving us a taste of what will be the great battle in the chapters to come. We already know that the Night King is a great opponent, and that he has an ice dragon that is capable of defeating anyone. In this teaser, we notice that Jon Snow's torch is extinguished by a strong wind. Then we realize that it is cold wind that begins to freeze the crypt slowly, making it evident that winter has finally arrived and that it is time to fight and protect the kingdom. The Feather. Another mysterious element in this trailer is when Jon Snow walks past the statue of Lyanna to then see how a feather falls and he turns around. Everything may be metaphorical, telling us that Jon will finally find his true origin and discover who his parents are. At last, it will be announced that his mother is Lyanna Stark and that his father is Rhaegar Targaryen. It also tries to explain that the crypt will be the scenario where he finds out about his origin. A moment we are all waiting for since the beginning. There was always the doubt of the birth of Jon Snow, because we weren't able to understand how a man as good as Ned Stark had been unfaithful to his wife. Despite all the problems, Ned kept his secret until his death, driven by love for his sister and the desire to keep his supposed bastard alive. A secret that will come to light soon. The meaning of the statues. In the teaser, we can see how Jon, Arya, and Sansa walk to their family crypt and go to their own statues, each one watching with concern. Upon seeing it, we notice that Arya's and Sansa's statues are identical to them, trying to tell us that these characters will die young. Maybe during the battles and the revelations, these girls don't have a good time and have to face characters that will eventually defeat them. This may be the bittersweet taste that George R.R. Martin was referring to. We know that George has proved with every season that if you are liking someone, he will kill them when you least expect it. Now that Sansa is gaining popularity, it wouldn't be a surprise if she dies in the end. The same happens with Arya. Although this character was popular from the start, he didn't get rid of her because she's his wife's favorite.
Yeah. No one's.
But since everything is going to end, why not add an extra death to Game of Thrones to spice things up? Classic George. Jon Snow ages. Now let's go to Jon Snow, with a statue that shows a much older character, very different from his sisters. This clearly means that Jon will live long after that great battle against the White Walkers and Cersei, who are planning to defeat them. We can even say that there is a great chance that he will become the promised hero we all hope for, Azor Ahai, a warrior who will be able to defeat the White Walkers and the Night King, and a mythical hero who lived in Westeros 8,300 years ago. At first, Priestess Melisandre thought that this character was Stannis Baratheon, since she prophesied that this hero would return reincarnated in a person. But after the death of Stannis, she began to believe that this mythical character is Jon Snow, because he was able to return from the death. She feels that he has something to fulfill in the world, and that it is something much bigger than he imagines. Where is Daenerys? Upon discovering the existence of the White Walkers, Daenerys set out to follow Jon Snow and help him as much as he can. Therefore, we saw them on a boat heading to Winterfell, where they will all meet to strategize for the great battle. Recently, before the last teaser, we could see a small scene that shows Sansa with Brienne saying "Winterfell is yours" to Daenerys and Jon Snow.
Winterfell is yours, Your Grace.
At first we thought she was saying it to the Dragon Mother, but knowing how Sansa's attitude changed, it is implied she's telling Jon Snow, or that she is only making fun of Daenerys since she didn't believe in the union of the Targaryen with the Stark. This is why she wished to keep Jon from going to Dragonstone, to make a truce with Daenerys. However, much further than that, it shows us that the Khaleesi is in Winterfell, so it seems strange that in the teaser of the statues she doesn't appear. One of the theories may be that it is only a meeting of the Stark before the battle, or that they are simply showing those who will die in this last season, and that Daenerys will live. Why doesn't Sansa carry a sword? The moment the wind extinguishes the torch of Jon, we see that our heroes turn, taking out their swords to fight. The only difference is that the only ones that turn with weapons are Jon Snow and Arya Stark, while Sansa turns around with nothing. Although after having seen her in the 7th season battling Littlefinger, we realize that this character does have a weapon, being her intelligence and cunning. It will not be a warrior like Arya, but over time, it has shown such an incredible evolution that it is capable of fighting against anyone. She may not have a visible weapon, but the most lethal and dangerous are those within you. Everything is a vision. We could say that this is the most outrageous theory of the Game of Thrones saga. There is a small chance that the teaser is one of Bran Stark's visions, a short scene that will serve to warn us of what's to come. Previously, Game of Thrones showed us that not everything is what it seems, that there is a lot going further. So, it wouldn't be strange that this is the same way.
I don't want it.
Where is Bran Stark? Far beyond the theory we discussed earlier about Bran's vision, it may also be that he isn't among his relatives because he has become the Three-Eyed Raven. Since this character is immortal, and they only show the people who die in the teaser, either now or later, it wouldn't even make sense for Bran to leave. Even so, others think that Bran was present in the teaser and is represented by that feather that would be nothing more or less than a crow feather. This last hypothesis has given rise to an even more outlandish one. Remember all that cold that leads to cover the crypt, freezing the feather? According to some, that would mean that Bran, the Three-Eyed Raven, is the very Night King. What? Simple. Bran has two very important skills: time travel and mind control powers. With the first one, he was able to go see King Aerys II Targaryen and whispered to him that he could use the Valyrian fire against White Walkers. However, things went a little crooked and the king ended up going crazy. With the second one, he was able to control Hodor. In one of his trips, Bran arrives right when the Children of the Forest were about to create the Night King. The theory says that Bran tried to control the mind of the human that was going to be used for it, and that he couldn't undo his tactics at the right time, turning him into the Night King and trapped in the past. While this hypothesis has received several criticisms because it was outrageous, it is undoubtedly the most talked about in the history of Game of Thrones. It's a joke from the series. The series has a history of always making fun of us, showing us a set of scenes that may seem like something, but in the end, they're just misleading us in the plot. It was during the 6th season when they showed us masks of the characters in the Gallery of Faceless Men to think that those faces were clues about the characters who would die in that season, which turned out to be totally false. So you can't really trust what you see. Be very observant and pay attention to the small details to figure out what they are really trying to tell us. We are prepared for everything, speculating everything until the season is finally released. Everything is just assumptions, nothing is certain, but we've had theories of the old seasons and several have been fulfilled. So we wouldn't be surprised if some of these are true as well. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe, and activate the notifications bell to get all of our videos. Until next time!